Hello everyone, my name is Elijah and today is the start of a new tutorial series on making a C Sharp game, a 2D game in C Sharp. So the first thing you need to do is get an IDE. Now I'll be using the Xamarin Studio IDE, which you can Google and download, but I'm pretty sure that any IDE will work since we're rewriting our code in pure C Sharp. So the first thing we're going to do is go to New, and we're going to make an empty project under the C Sharp tab. Empty project. We could name this project anything we like, so I'll just name it tutorial 2D game. Okay, click OK and let Xamarin compile your folders after it finishes loading. Okay, I just paused the video until it finished loading. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our references and edit them. So we're going to add the system. Find system. We need to add the system namespace. We need to add the system.drawing namespace right here, and we need to add the system.windowsforms namespace right here. Click OK, and the first thing we're going to do is create a new folder, and we will name this folder game. Okay, in the game folder we will create another file, and it will be an empty class, and we're going to name this the game. Well, we're going to name it game, and it will be the game class of our program. Okay, after it finishes compiling, we will get this screen. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is add a couple of using statements. We will be using system.drawing and using system.windows.forms. Get rid of that. System.windows.forms. Okay, we're going to create a couple of variables, and we will name these variables. They will be the window properties. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is create a form, and by form I mean the form will be the actual window that we will be running in. So we go to public form, and we will name this window. Okay, window. We will set window window, which will be equal to a new form, and we will set the form's properties in our constructor here. Okay, so our game will need a width, a height, and we will put the width and height in a size variable, which is contained in the system.drawing namespace. So we will go public, well, we can make it, public static integer width. Okay, and the width of our game could be anything, but to make it easy on my graphics card, I'll make it 160 pixels wide. And the next thing I'm going to do is create another variable, which will be static, and it will be an integer, and I'll call it height. Height, and it will be equal to the width again, it will be equal to the width divided by 14 by 9. Okay, let me explain what I've done. The first thing I did was create a new form, and a form in C# is nothing but a window. Okay, after that I created a variable, which was an integer, and it was public. So if a variable is public, that means that it is accessible by any other class. And I made it static, so we wouldn't have to create an instance of this class to receive the information inside of this variable width. Okay, so I also did the same thing for height, and for height since I don't want to hard code the numbers in, I'll just put the width divided by the aspect ratio. So it'll be a 14 by 9 window. Okay, we'll create another variable above the width variable and go public static string title, and this will be the Windows title. Under the height variable, we will go public size, size, which name is size, is equal to a new size, and you can, as you can see, if you go down, it takes two integers, so width and height. So we'll just plug those two in, width and height. So in our constructor, we're going to set window dot size is equal to our size that we created up here. Okay, we will do window dot text will be equal to title. Okay, and title. Now there is a window dot name, but I'm pretty sure window dot name just specifies the name of the window if you're trying to access the window in another class, and the text is the actual title of the window. Like the title of this window is this information right here. That's what the text is. Now we'll go window. Well, before we do that, we're going to make our main method. Now, as you can see, if we press play, we will get an error because the computer will be looking for our main method, as you can see right here. So we need to go private static void main, and it will take a string array args, and in here we will go application. Well, first thing we need to do is create an instance of game. So we'll go game is equal to a new game. Okay, scroll down and we will do application dot run. We're going to run game dot window. Now we're going to run game dot window because one of the parameters of this run method is a form. So we can give it any form and it'll run the form. So now if we press play, what you can see is we will have a window in the center, well, a window on the screen because we haven't centered the screen yet. So after it loads, as you can see, we have a window. We have a window on the screen. So we'll exit the window, and that exits the program. And the next thing we want to do is scale up our window. So we will do right under the height variable, public static integer scale, and we'll scale it by 3. Okay, now our size will be width times scale and height times scale. Okay, now in our constructor here, the next thing we need to do is set the location of the window. So we're going to do window dot location is equal to a new, well, what we could do is window dot point to screen, go to a new. One sec while I figure out the right method for this. Okay, I figured it out. So we'll type window dot start position is equal to start position dot center to screen. Okay, now if we press play, we'll have a window in the center of the screen, as you can see. Now I'm pausing the video because as I'm recording, it's slowing down my computer, and it takes the program a long time to start. So that's why there are more or less cuts in between the video. So I'll stop the game by closing, and the next thing we're gonna do is get rid of the maximize button and the ability to resize the window, because if we're resizing the window, it could mess up the graphics, because we're not updating. Well, because I won't be updating the, for instance, the pixel size and the bitmap size and so on. So we'll go window dot maximize button, well, maximize box is equal to false, and right above that we'll go window dot maximum size is equal to size, and window dot minimum size is equal to size. And now if we press play, you can see that if I try to resize the window, it won't work, and the maximize box is disabled. So we'll just exit it out, and the next thing we're going to do is, well, that's about it for this first episode. So as a recap, the only thing we did was create a new form, name the window, we set its properties, and we started the program with application.run. So in the next tutorial we will go along with threads and doing things at the same time, like simultaneously. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.